Orientation video. Sorry. Welcome to the orientation video for the cruise to the ancient world. My name is Ernesto Medina, and it's a real pleasure to meet all of you. I am one of the tour leaders for our exciting vacation to the Eastern Mediterranean.
Hi, I'm Susan Medina. I'm a tour leader as well, and we're just so happy that you're going to join us. It's going to be a fabulous, fabulous trip.
Right now, we have been experimenting for the last few months in cooking styles of the Mediterranean area, and we have combined some of American cooking techniques along with some high-protein, low-carb recipes. And so we're going to begin by showing you a turkey lasagna that will knock your socks off.
So let's start preparing our very healthy turkey lasagna. First, you need a skillet all warmed up with some cooking spray on it. And then you're going to add your ground turkey, lean ground turkey. And we're going to brown it. Get it nicely browned. While that's browning, Ernesto's going to talk to you about your key card on the trip.
Hello again. So this is a very important item on our cruise to the ancient world. While we're boarding and getting all checked in, every person will be given an infamous, famous, very practical Medina lanyard. A lanyard that will make you the talk of the ship for the first few days, because they'll want to know where exactly you can get one of these. This card is your passport to practically everything on the ship. It is your room key. It is how you pay for anything you need to pay for, since it is cashless on the ship. When you check in, you'll be linking your credit card or any other mode of payment to this particular card. It's very important that if for any reason you lose your card, that you immediately go to the purser's desk on deck 4 and tell them, so they can give you a replacement card as well as canceling the card that you lost. For the children, they will receive a hole on the top and bottom, which will signify that they are not able to buy alcoholic beverages. But once again, this is a very important card. It is your room key. It is how you pay for anything on the ship, and importantly, it is how you exit the ship and get back on the ship for each of our excursions. Susan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm going to add, that was 12 ounces of lean turkey. I'm now going to add some green onions, and it's 4 ounces of chopped green onion. And continue to brown and get that onion cooked. And while that's going, Ernesto has more to share with you.
Every night at 6 o'clock is our evening dinner time. We are assigned to main dining, so we are the first ones. Now actually 6 o'clock is a good starting time, but you have until 6:30 to actually come into the room. We will have, obviously, since there are over 90 of us, a very large section of the dining room just for our group. On your key card, it will have a table number assigned to it that you probably will want to go to on your very first night. But after that, you are really kind of free as a bird as long as you stay in our area. And you can develop relationships with the waiters and assisting staff all through the 13 nights of our cruise. There is no need to be concerned about if the certain person you really get attached to gets your tip, because all the tips are combined from our group and everyone will receive at the end of the cruise their fair share. Now we'll be talking about some of the exceptions of that later on. But what we'd really like you to encourage you in seating is to change your placement of where you sit. Introduce yourself to the various members of our cruise party, and just enjoy the different opportunities to meet the very talented and very talented people that we have joining our cruise. Susan, how are you doing? Do you need help with the spices?
I'm gonna add the spices.
Okay.
Okay, so first we have a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. We're gonna add everything right now. 1½ teaspoons of basil. We've got 1½ teaspoons of parsley flakes. 1/2 teaspoon oregano. 1/4 teaspoon salt. And 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper, sorry. And we're just going to mix that all in and continue to let it cook a little longer so the onions get nice and tender. And that's everything that goes into the meat.
Of course, a number of us love photography, and if photography is not a particular gift or skill that you have, probably it will be by the end of the cruise. We will offer to anyone who is interested a short, kind of entertaining, basic tips in creative photography. But this all leads to a very exciting event near the end of the cruise, where we will let you know when we'd like to collect all of your pictures that you've taken during the cruise to the ancient world, and we will select, or you can help however you want, 3 to 5 of your favorite shots, and then we will have a very exclusive photo exhibition featuring the work of all of our group. We will be able to be in a room and have your picture shown in a very large screen, and I think we'll have lots of laughs, a lot of oohs and ahs. It'll be an exciting event and a very good time to show the talent and creativity from our youngest members to our oldest members.
Boy, that Ernesto, he sure does talk a lot. So, there are some rules that you'll need to know about what to wear when entering the Vatican. There are no bare shoulders, skirts must be below the knee, and no shorts. Everyone should wear shoes. You don't have to be all dressed up, but you do have to dress modestly. There are some disposable pants and also shirts and scarves that you can purchase outside the Vatican. When you're entering a mosque, you need to be dressed modestly. Women must cover their heads, and no one wears shoes into a mosque. I have a shawl that I carry with me. It's very lightweight, easy to do. When you have to cover your shoulders, you just lay it over your shoulders, but in a mosque, you're going to cover your head. And it's just real easy.
Hi, I'm just working on my dress for formal night. I'm Elizabeth. You can call me pretty much anything, Liz, Lizzie, Lizard. I just graduated and I'm ready to celebrate. We have many things to celebrate on this cruise: graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, retirements, and promises fulfilled. I'm so excited to meet all of you.
Well, now comes the fun part, and that's the assembly of our turkey lasagna. We'll need an 8x8 baking dish that's been lightly sprayed. Now this recipe is for 4 servings. We will be adding 3 small to medium zucchini that have been cut into thin strips. We have 8 ounces of low-fat cottage cheese mixed with 1 beaten egg. We have 4 ounces of mozzarella cheese, 4 ounces of diced tomatoes, 2 ounces of sliced mushrooms, and then our meat mixture that we prepared earlier. Susan, will you talk us through?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm so excited. Here we go.
Ernesto's going to place down a layer of zucchini, nicely, thinly sliced. That's in place of pasta.
Imagine that. Okay.
Then we have a layer of 1½ ounces mozzarella cheese, and I'm just going to Sprinkle it all over the zucchini, like this.
But I wonder if they can hear the actual sound of the lasagna, the mozzarella.
I don't know.
Falling on the lasagna. I'll take that.
Okay, and then we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of diced tomato. Next.
I cut those myself.
Yes, you did.
They're very uniform, aren't they?
Nicely done. Yes.
It doesn't look like much, but it actually turns out really well.
Yeah, it looks
After it's
sparse,
baked,
but
yeah.
it's actually just fine. Then we have 2 ounces of mushrooms, and that's optional, but we like mushrooms a lot in this house.
Now, for some reason, Susan, you like to put all the mushrooms on the first layer.
I do. I only want 1 layer of mushrooms.
Okay.
I don't know the reason. I think it's because it's optional, and so that's why.
Okay. That's a great culinary statement.
Okay, now we're going to do 4 ounces of the cottage cheese mixture. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to do the meat mixture. I apologize.
That's half of it, right?
That's half of it.
Yeah, so you don't even have to weigh it. It's just half.
Yeah, that's right. We have a reserve of the other half. Okay, the next thing is 4 ounces of the cottage cheese. And this is measured with the 1 egg, but I'm gonna just eyeball it and use half of it right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you're doing this part.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I'm ready with the zucchini.
And then you do another layer of the zucchini.
Okay, here we go. Look how fast. Man, oh man, oh man. Is that good? Okay, ready for you.
Okay then, it is now ready to go in the oven. You'll want to have a preheated oven, 350 degrees, and this is going to go into the oven for 45 minutes.
Thanks to David and Jennifer Moreno, who were actually on the Meredith Seas almost a year ago. They collected some materials that I think will be very helpful for us. So first of all, I think all of us are looking forward to breakfast in bed, or breakfast on the balcony, or breakfast anywhere in our room, including the shower, I guess, for some of you. It's going to be a very simple thing to do, and you just simply fill out your form. Ooh, I didn't open it up. And there's this wonderful menu for breakfast to be delivered to your room at whatever time you want the next morning. A number of you have been asking about internet access, and you'll be receiving a brochure upon getting on the ship. And I just want to give you a quick survey of what the prices were a year ago. You can pay by the minute, or for 60 minutes it costs $35. For 100 minutes, $55, 150 minutes, $75. And those internet compulsive folks, if you want to buy 500 minutes of internet time, that will cost you $150. Now, there is a great temptation to have your cell phone on. My true recommendation is don't, unless you want to pay a lot of money. Your cell phone will show a full signal, but don't be fooled, because you will be charged international roaming rates if you were to use your cell phone on the ship. Now, there's no need to take 10 bags of luggage, because they have excellent laundry service. And the prices are fairly reasonable. Each room will have a sheet that pretty much tells you that a pair of pants is about $4.25. A shirt for a man is $3.50, and that's cleaning and pressing. For ladies, a blouse is $4 and a dress is $6. Again, you'll have the opportunity to do this kind of laundry service. And then 2 or 3 times during the cruise itself, there will be a smaller bag than a normal laundry bag, hotel laundry bag, and a note that says for $25 or $30, whatever you can stuff in there, whatever socks, shorts, underwear, whatever you can stuff in there, they will wash for that fixed amount. So go ahead and save your small dirty laundry. And of course, Susan, in the shower stall, which is kind of like a big tube of toothpaste, they do have those small cables that you can pull across.
Right. And you can
do a little wash.
Do some wash in the sink, or you can hang your swimming suit there. a towel that you want to dry if that's necessary, yeah.
And some of you may want to buy one of those travel wool lights for that kind of delicate work. And the last thing is the cruise compass. Every night after dinner, this will be on your bed. It gives you all kinds of information about what to look forward to in terms of weather and some of the practical implications for the port of call for the next day. Inside are just highlights of activities and contact information, including meal times. And Susan, is there something that you'd like to say about this?
Well, if you want 2 in your room and you're not getting 2 in your room, make sure you tell your person that takes care of your room, because we've had to share once in a while and we always want 2. So.
And because of the type of marriage we have, we don't share very well. So that's a very important thing. Now, as a practical point, you'll notice that there is a tear here right down the center, because the second page is the page you probably want to be carrying around with you. Now on the back page of this small flyer is a very detailed list of all the activities on the ship. This is just one normal day, and I hope you'll be able to see kind of a good summary of all the types of activities that the ship provides, both days at sea and also on days that we are at port of call. We are very excited about the excursions that we have planned at each port of call. In fact, each port of call has a special excursion assigned right to it, with the exception of Rhodes, Greece, the island of the sun. And this is the ideal time if you want to spend a day at the beach or just go for a leisurely walk. Everything is right there at the port. And in fact, for those interested, I'll probably be setting up some informal walking tours, some inexpensive walking tours right there, so you can go see some of the medieval hotels and such. We want to be clear about one thing. Never on this cruise do we have 100 people going from point A to point B. We operate as 3 independent groups: Group Alpha, Group Beta, Group Gamma. And as soon as any one of those groups is ready to go, they are off. We will check you in and check you out, and we will check you back in. And this should make it very easy. We will also be very clear about our departure time and plan to leave at the assigned departure time. So 8:30 means 8:30. It does not mean 8:35 or 8:40. If for whatever reason that you find yourself delayed, will you please find a way to contact ship personnel so they can get a hold of us. Now, about pickpocketing, this is a pretty real problem in many of the tourist larger cities. Oh, hi honey.
Hey.
Larger cities in Europe. They'll get you from in front or get you from behind. They are very skilled. They're usually young children. They will create some sort of diversion around you right above this level, and when that diversion is created, they will find a way to get into your back pocket or front hip pack or whatever. We really suggest having one of those travel wallets that you just put down your shirt to keep your valuables in. For most of our excursions, we'll be divided into 3 groups.
I'm Alpha Group.
I lead Beta Group.
I lead Gamma Group.
Now these will be your groups that you will be assigned to through the entire cruise. Now just to make it a little bit interesting, tour leaders may actually be changing their group. And now,
I'm Gamma Group.
I'm Alpha Group.
And I'm Beta Group.
But you don't have to worry, because you will always be in the same group. We interrupt this program to bring you this special news bulletin. Breaking story. On some of our ports, we may need to be in 2 buses instead of 3, but no need to be concerned. Alpha Group will stay the same, Gamma Group will stay the same, and we will split Beta Group into both Alpha and Gamma. It's that easy. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. I'm so glad we have this time together. I want to talk to you about something that really concerns me, and that's my name. My name is Ernesto. In Italian, Ernesto. I like it. I like that. Anyways, here's the scoop. Those of you that met me before I turned 40 either know me as Netito, Ernest, or Ernie. And that's okay, but here's the conflict. Everyone that met me after I turned 40 called me by the name I prefer. And I'm just hoping that the people that met me after 40 don't hear you and then start calling me Ernest or Ernie. So, you know, do what you have to do, but Ernesto.
On a cruise, there always seems to be a lot of concern about how to tip your various waiters and servers. So Ernesto's going to give you some rule of thumb.
This is a thumb. No, just kidding. Okay, so tipping is actually very, very easy. And they often make it way too complicated. In fact, it's very simple because it's all computerized. Days into the cruise, you'll be given the opportunity to simply sign a paper that says, please assign all my tips to my room charge. It's that simple. And then a day or two before the last day of the cruise, you'll receive these coupon vouchers with envelopes. And you'll be able to hand a sealed envelope to your cabin steward, your waiter, your assistant waiter, and assistant head waiter. These are the people that it's customary to tip. Now, you should budget about $10 a day per passenger. And that should work out pretty well. So it's about $120, $130. They'll let you know on the ship per passenger total for all the tips. And Susan, you had something you wanted to share, right?
I've always found there's one server in particular that I just think did a fabulous job, and maybe they worked above and beyond the call of duty, so to speak. And so you can always give them an extra something just to show your appreciation in addition to the normal tipping that we do.
So to reduce any anxiety you may have, let's say that you forget to give them their voucher. They still get their tip because it's all computerized. And for our dinner service, even though you're not necessarily seated at the right place, we'll handle it, and we will be fair and just to all the waiting staff. Now, one more thing. I'm sorry. If you order a drink or something like that, the tip will be assigned on your bill. So if you have a Mai Tai or a Bloody Mary or a martini or whatever, a glass of wine, the tip will be assigned to your bill when you sign it. So just be aware of that so you don't do additional tipping. It's a pretty fair tip. One of our personal highlights is formal night, and we will have the opportunity to do fancy dress. As a rule, gentlemen wear tuxedos or a very nice suit.
And the women, they like to dress up any way they like because it's so easy. You can either go all out and be formal from top to bottom, or you can wear a little black dress, which is what I usually do. But whatever it is, it's fun to dress up. We just have such a great time. They take your picture and you can see yourself looking all dashing, and it's just great.
I personally prefer to rent my tuxedo. We'll be sending the link to you via email so that you can just link in and rent a tuxedo, and you'll have what you need for the 2 formal nights on board the ship. It's pretty exciting. Hey, how's that food coming, Susan?
Well, it should be just about ready. I think we're going to hear that timer going off any minute now. Woo! There it is. Then. Now it's time to take out the lasagna.
Live TV.
Now, we're gonna add some topping in just a moment. Boy, it's really bubbling. So, to finalize this, we are gonna add the cheese, the last of the cheese, mozzarella cheese, and the tomato.
So, we recommend putting it in the refrigerator after it cools down overnight. Tastes yummy. So shall we say it?
Bon appetit!
You eat it.
Stop. Just stop. Okay.
Or let it
Stop recording.
In the refrigerator overnight. Bon appetit.
Stop.
Bon appetit.